Avatar, expletive, Disney shouldn't, blah blah. James Cameron's Avatar is stupid, blah. Oh, Avatar could be done right and Disney won't. Ugh.
Hey boss, what you looking up?
More Disney Avatar forums. Boy, people won't let this go. And with Cameron intentionally going as slow as possible, it'll be years before we see results and hopefully put everybody's fears to rest.
You optimistic?
I don't know. Obviously, Cameron wants to do this right. This can't be called a hasty decision. It could succeed for all we know. What about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as everyone else. There's a ton of other franchises Disney could exploit that could have been a bit easier to swallow.
Like what?
Well, offhand, Rankin Bass.
The guys who make all those stop-motion Christmas specials? Well, they can't. DreamWorks bought them out.
Okay, Hanna-Barbera.
Universal has theme park rides. They even had that Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera attraction. Flintstones, Scooby-Doo, and the Funky Phantom aren't going anywhere.
James Bond, Doctor Who, The Avengers.
Doesn't work for kids, too complex, and differences between Universal and Disney.
Well, there's got to be some franchises out there Disney or Universal or SeaWorld could use that haven't been snatched up already.
Well, lucky for us, someone was paying attention to notice that we were due for a top 10 list. And someone may have just such a list prepared.
As in a list of the top 10 franchises we'd like to see in the parks? Jeez, that musical scene seems to be happening more frequently.
That's right, listeners. In response to all the anti-Avatar forums and comments flooding the internet, we got to thinking. If we could choose which existing popular franchise Disney, Universal, or SeaWorld could purchase for the Florida theme parks, who would we suggest? Let's find out, shall we?
To help us look at this from a more objective point of view, we rated each franchise on a 3-category 5-point system. The categories: attraction potential, character meet and greet potential, and merchandise potential. What would yield more benefit than the others? But this list will still be in order of which franchises we'd like to see least to most. So our rating system doesn't dictate where on the list these franchises go. Just sit back and imagine with us, or go ahead and start gunning for the comment box because we won't include Twilight or World of Warcraft.
So, without further ado, the top 10 franchises we like to see in the parks. Number 10, because that's a good place to start.
Out of the night, when the
Zorro at Walt Disney World. Hey wait, TAP-G, did you hack my list?
Look. Just hear me out on this one, okay? For those who don't know, Zorro was one of Disney's earliest television endeavors that came on the heels of the tremendously successful Davy Crockett series. It only lasted 2 seasons, and while not as big as Davy, it survived better than the subsequent El Fego Baca and the Swamp Fox.
Who?
Exactly. It was a Batman meets Robin Hood tale of the wealthy playboy Don Diego de la Vega, who champions for the poor and oppressed with his trusty bullwhip, rapier, and horse tornado, all in a jet black costume complete with an awesome cape and mask. Though you have to wonder, doesn't that get awfully hot in Los Angeles?
What's your point?
Oh, right, sorry. First, attraction potential. They could easily utilize Tom Sawyer Island's Fort Langhorne as a theater. The governor traps the guests there and plans to use them as bait for Zorro, prompting the Fox to come to the rescue and perform an epic stunt show. It's a bit small, but I'm sure they could do it.
Go on.
In terms of merchandise, though, not much. The usual t-shirts and pins, but I don't think Disney could profit off rapiers. Zorro costumes maybe, but not his sword. But let's not knock that famous Z image. For character, potentially, yeah, it'll be hard with a lesser-known character, but it's doable. Everyone loves an anti-corrupt politician vigilante, and bearing a resemblance to the wildly popular Batman is certainly a plus. Not to mention, he's bilingual. Are you going to sit there and tell me that a heroic vigilante, rebellious, virtuous, Hispanic, Walt-era Batman like Robin Hood couldn't garner a lot of fans? Granted, only Zorro would come out as Bernardo or Sergeant Garcia aren't nearly as marketable.
You know, I was going to throttle you for bumping Madagascar off the list, but you do make a good case. I'll allow it. So, what do we say?
Attraction potential, 3. Merchandise potential, 2. Character potential, also 2.
Alright, let's look at number 9. Disney Pixar's The Incredibles. Disney learned back in the 1970s that good rides are based off of good settings, not necessarily characters or stories. If the property takes place in a forest or a city, it's among the most boring settings. And yes, The Incredibles spends its surroundings in the suburbs, the jungle, and the city, but thanks to Ralph Eggleston's art direction, even these boring scenes get pumped full of intense angles and colors. This alone provides promise to the idea of an Incredibles-themed ride or show.
And a good story needs conflict, right? Come on, superheroes! Even if they reenact the 2004 film, it can provide enough intense action to make a show engaging and intense. For merchandise, there's already plenty of Incredibles merchandise out and about, and it already makes good money. And meet and greets, with Mr. Incredible, Frozone, and sometimes Elastigirl already out, it's pretty obvious. All that's missing is the attraction.
Attraction potential 4, merchandise potential 5, character potential 5.
Number 8. Dish out some pizza, dudes. It's those rambunctious reptiles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Cowabunga!
Now, let's remove the nostalgia glasses for a moment, shall we? While we Gen Xers grew up on the iconic TV show and the gritty live-action trilogy, today's audiences are watching the escapades of Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo on Nickelodeon with the 2012 CGI series. And since the Turtles are on Nickelodeon, what better place than at Universal Studios? Again, taking place in the city, there's little in the way of unique settings to utilize.
Except the sewers, or Dimension X, there's a lot of cool locations that haven't been touched.
Well, say you're right. What about merchandise?
Well, back in the 90s, Turtle merchandise was exploited to the hilt. Everything from snack pies to action figures. Oh boy, the action figures! Today, Nickelodeon's marketing department still sees profit in some merchandise, particularly t-shirts and toys. They could even rake it in with nostalgic adults buying vintage t-shirts. Right, Hot Topic? Wink wink.
And, of course, the characters. What fanboy or fangirl wouldn't want to meet Raphael, Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Splinter, or even Shredder? Let's not forget that Disney's Hollywood Studios did the same thing back in 1990.
Yeah, that's true. Attraction potential, 4. Merchandise potential, 5. Character potential, also 5. Number 7. Wait, what? What, no music? What's the deal?
Well, that's because this one isn't a movie franchise. Well, not yet anyway. Number 7 is the internationally acclaimed graphic novel Jeff Smith's Bone.
First published in 1991, this comic is about as grand as any of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings or Hobbit films. A trio of white, big-nosed humanoid creatures called Bones are run out of their civilized modern town of Boneville. There's the practical and noble Phone Bone, his greedy and egocentric cousin Phony Bone, and the other cousin, the free-spirited yet dim-witted Smiley Bone. Once lost in the desert, the cousins split up and find themselves in a valley inhabited by medieval-era villagers, a lost kingdom, dragons, and repulsive, nasty, hairy monsters called rat creatures. The epic spans 9 graphic novels and has won 10 Eisner Awards, 13 Eisner Award nominations, and 11 Harvey Awards.
Originally, we wanted Lord of the Rings in this spot, but because of all the rumors floating around how it actually might happen at either Universal or Disney, we opted for what was on our runner-up list. And, wouldn't you know it, the most Lord of the Rings thing that wasn't Lord of the Rings. Anyway, as far as attractions go, either riding a giant honeybee or the Great Red Dragon or even some sort of 3D motion simulator dark ride that has you avoiding the rat creatures and their chieftain, King Doc.
Merchandise. The Bone characters are certainly marketable, as are the Great Red Dragon and the rat creatures. And we've seen how medieval time periods can frequently work in theme parks.
And characters? Maybe Phone Bone, Phony Bone, and Smiley Bone, and their human friends, Grandma Ben and Thorn, possibly. But I think there's only one awkward thing.
What's that?
Ever heard of another studio theme park utilizing a trio of cartoon-like characters? One small and noble, one hot-tempered, and one tall, happy-go-lucky, and not too bright?
Nope. No bells rung here.
Like a mouse, a duck, and a dog?
Who?
Never mind. Attraction potential 3, merchandise potential 3, character potential 2.
Number 6. Hi-ya! Let loose the fearsome 5! It's Kung Fu Panda!
Furious 5, dude. Fearsome 5 were the Darkwing Duck villains. But yeah, the Runaway series from DreamWorks has great potential for an attraction, thanks to its exotic locations and good martial arts philosophy. Again, a stunt show could be great.
Ooh, except a stunt show would have to involve humans.
True, but all you need for exposition really is a team member that was trained by Poe himself. Heck, what if there was a Mr. Ping's Noodle Shop? The merchandise demand is there, certainly. Kung Fu Panda is fast becoming one of DreamWorks' best-selling franchises, coming right off the heels of Shrek. And who could be a more marketable image than a monochromatic endangered species who can kick butt?
Except he's fat.
Hey, watch it.
Oh, no, not like that. I meant as a character in the park, Po is a natural choice, along with Shifu, Oogway, or Lao Shi. But with a character with that much girth, I think it'd be hard to pull off.
I kind of see what you mean, but still awesome.
Attraction potential, 3. Merchandise potential, 5. Character potential, 4.
Number 5. Warn downtown Tokyo! Godzilla's coming!
Yeah, let's snub that 1998 Matthew Broderick American-made load of crap. We're talking old-school Japanese, dog! Imagine going the Spider-Man ride at IFA route and having you be a team of reporters being sent to photograph the monster when he attacks. I'm sure downtown Tokyo is an exotic enough locale for American audiences, right?
And merchandise? Well, not just Godzilla. Mothra, Ghidorah, Manila, Rodan, Destroya, Mechagodzilla, the list goes on. Between America's love of monsters and Japanese...
Hint, hint, Pokemon, Sailor Moon, and Hayao Miyazaki...
Making Godzilla merchandise at Universal Studios would be like a license to print money.
But the character area would fall flat. I know size isn't that big an issue, but who wants to see a 6-foot-tall king of monsters, let alone hug one?
Attraction potential 4, merchandise potential 5, character potential 1.
Number 4. Dust off those cash registers, Hot Topic. The Disney Afternoon.
Say what you will about cartoons today.
Oh, don't worry. I will.
But the Disney Afternoon animated shows were a new precedent. Great animation, good writing, memorable characters, and inventive stories.
DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, Gummy Bears, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, and Gargoyles. If you haven't seen any of these shows, you should. They make SpongeBob feel inadequate.
So many shows, so many settings, so many characters, so many possibilities.
Me? I picture Jimmy Neutron's Nicktoon Blast, but with all Disney Afternoon characters.
The merchandise demand is there. Disney's released t-shirts from a few of these shows, and they still sell pretty well. Look up how the public reacted also to the newly released DuckTales Remastered video game.
And characters? Disney still has most of them still in storage, but they will have to make sure they pull out the right ones. Scrooge McDuck, Launchpad, Chip 'n Dale, Darkwing Duck, and Baloo might get some serious fan reaction. Disney Afternoon, because cartoons today make me sad.
Attraction potential 4, merchandise potential 5, character potential 5.
Number 3. To boldly go where no other franchises have gone before, Star Trek.
Well, whether you prefer Kirk or Picard, a ride or land dedicated to the escapades of the USS Enterprise is bound to please so many. Now, the original series aired on CBS in the 1960s, so since Disney already has a CBS licensed attraction, the Tower of Terror with the Twilight Zone, we again think Disney is the best home for the Enterprise.
The original series offers little in terms of a basis of an exciting ride, but thankfully the preceding series and the recent J.J. Abrams films have boosted possibility for thrills tenfold.
Merchandise? Who wouldn't want their own Star Trek tech? And clothes? Just stay clear of those red shirts and you'll be good.
But characters could be iffy. Again, it'd have to depend on which series the park would want to endorse, but I'd say Spock is a must. Kirk or Picard would be obvious, and then maybe Data too. Now I'm going to stop there because this geek moment is resurrecting some unpleasant memories from high school.
Live long and prosper.
Attraction potential 3, merchandise potential 4, character potential 3.
Number 2. Time for a blast from the past of mammoth proportions with Ice Age at SeaWorld.
You know, the Ice Age movies are, as a whole, harmless. They're neither great nor bad, but it's obvious from Blue Sky that Manny, Sid, and Diego aren't going away anytime soon. And where better to place these Pleistocene pals than frozen somewhere next to SeaWorld's Antarctic expansion? All 4 movies had quite an epic tale to weave, and many of them centered around water. Do I sense a whitewater rapids ride? Even incorporating a few extinct marine life to make it educational?
Merchandise would be no better or worse than anything else we've mentioned, albeit with a lot more plush toys. And character meet and greets would probably be limited to maybe Sid, Crash, and Eddie.
Character potential 3, merchandise potential 4. Character potential, 3.
So, what's our number one franchise choice? It's none other than...
Nintendo at Walt Disney World! Mario, Sonic, Pikachu, and Zelda, all with the guys who gave us Wreck-It Ralph. Obvious much?
Revamp the Tomorrowland Speedway into Mario Kart meets Smash Brothers, anyone?
Or Nintendo Store at Downtown Disney?
And if you don't want to say hi to Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Pikachu, Link, or Zelda, you're crazy.
Yeah, this is the one we're most passionate about. Video games have yet to make a splash in the realm of themed entertainment, and we know now they aren't going away, so it's ripe for picking. So Disney, if you really want to trounce Universal's Wizarding World of Harry Potter, we strongly suggest you go with Mario on this one. Attraction potential, 5. Merchandise potential, 5. Character potential, wait for it, 5!
Do you agree with us? Or did we perhaps miss one of your faves? Well, let us know. Thanks for bearing with us, folks. I'm SurferClock.
And I'm on my Game Boy.
And this was What's the Attraction?
Where our work is your vacation.
Wait, what are you doing?
I'm trying to get this coin box.
He's throwing hammers at you. Just leave it.
I'm 2 coins away from a new guy. I'm so close.
Here, let me show you. Oh, and you're dead.